We're remembering Junior Seau, our beloved Charger great. Today marks 1 year since he took his own life, and we would now like to welcome Darren Carrington, who was a teammate and friend of Seau's during the team's only Super Bowl appearance. Welcome to Primetime. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Special day today, huh?
Mm-hmm. Special, yeah, in a sad way, but it is a special day.
Special day to remember him and all his greatness. And he was a great man.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that in order to get through a tough time like this, you really have to remember all the good that he did. So really of celebrating his life, remembering the legacy that he left behind and not how we got here.
Oh, he had such a big heart. Aside from his charisma, which he had, man, more charisma than anyone I've ever met, right?
Absolutely.
And his leadership abilities, the way he would rally and get the team together and his friends, it didn't matter, it generalized into all areas. The guy had the biggest heart. All the charity organizations that he helped run and money he's raised for San Diego. And
I've been doing stuff with Junior probably, since I got here in '91. He had the toy drive where he gave away toys, to hundreds, probably thousands of kids here. And like you said, he just had a heart for people. And then on the field, this was a whole. He was kind of at a different level from everybody. Like that was one of the guys that, man, he never took a playoff. And people think that he just guessed, but he really was a student of the game. That's why he was able to do what he did so quickly, because he knew before it even happened. Yeah,
you hear Gina talk about how he would just go, study and study the plays and the players that he would be, up against the next game or whatever. It was amazing, his discipline.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a special man to play, for that long, for 20 years, and just the collisions. I mean, as a linebacker, you're colliding. So they say that's like mini car crashes. So mini car crashes, pretty much 60, 70 plays a game, times 20. It's been a long time since I've been out of school, so I don't know the exact number.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, I won't even try. I got to write it all down.
But yeah, just to, able to endure that, and unfortunately, it ended the way it did, and it really does. I'm glad that they did study the brain and see what was going on with that, and it just also just speaks to others, just to let them know that everybody needs somebody. It's not just about the stuff and the glitz and the glam and the glory. Everybody needs somebody or something bigger than themselves.
They absolutely do. And tell me your personal experience, and I hear that you want to say more. I feel that you have a platform now to tell the viewers how you feel about this and what inspires you.
Yes, I mean, as far as me, being there, having that dream, that goal, and having, the fame of, being an NFL player, and you realize you get there that it really is, it's just one big cycle where they chew you up, get what they can, and then they spit you out. Yeah, it's strictly a business.
You're a commodity.
And what really worked for me is what I realized is that a relationship with Christ is what worked for me, because I knew whether I played ball, whether I was a janitor, custodian, right, a news anchor, man, it didn't matter. He loved me for who I was, and I knew that I was special, not because of anything I did, but it was because he made me and he created me in his image.
And that's, it doesn't matter, right? Your job does not define you.
Nope, no matter how, the glitz, the glam, it does not matter.
And that's how you were able to be successful when you stopped playing, because a lot of these athletes can't. Like, that was another thing that was, I think, was hard for Junior, being a friend of his and being with him after he retired. It's hard, to train, and it's hard to get back into mainstream, population when you're such a celebrity.
Yeah,
and you had a cause, right? Like every day you're a warrior. Now what do you do with your life?
Yeah, and that's a lot of it. It's just that it's just that big part of you that's gone. And even though he was able to experience and do the things that he loved to do, it tells you that there was something more, because in a sense, he had, he was around his family, he had, he did have a relationship with the Lord, and it was something different. And realistically, like, as far as you look at the average career is 3.5, 4 years, he probably played 5 careers, so that was a lot of, stuff that nobody even has any clue of what he had to experience. But, nobody, I mean, not to say, I don't know, exactly what was going on in his mind right before that time, but everyone, you have to reach out to somebody.
Yeah, well, yes, and that's important. We're going to talk about what was going, like the problems that he was having, and they were symptoms of CTE. And now knowledge is power. So now, this knowledge will hopefully help other athletes.
Yes.
So we're going to go to break, and we're going to come back with really important information. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Okay.
We're here with Darren Carrington. He was Junior Seau's friend, teammate, you know, sort of a mentor at points, and we're here to remember Junior Seau and to talk about what happened. And when we left for the break, we were talking about some of the signs he was having of CTE. Because when he did take his own life, people thought, this guy had so much life and charisma. How is that even possible? He loved his children, but you could see this was a disease that he didn't even know he had. But there was, I've talked to friends where he couldn't sleep. He was taking all kinds of sleeping pills. He would just, even that, the symptoms would keep him up all night. So.
And it's also one of those things where as men, like, we are taught, right, to be strong, don't show weakness, especially as an athlete. Like, you show weakness, you might be out of there. So even to admit that I have this issue, I have this challenge, it kind of goes against the ways in which we were trained up.
Like
so
warriors don't complain.
Exactly.
That makes me sad.
And it's a lot of it. It's just still a lot of it going on. Like, guys, we don't go to the doctor unless we're half dead. Right.
And I feel bad because I feel like, if he would have, I wish somebody could have just helped him and they could have known about CTE, and now they can diagnose it without, autopsying the brain.
Right.
So I wish they had that then, and all I can say is, hopefully this brings light to the situation, will save others, Yeah,
it definitely has. The NFL, they're doing a lot more as far as studies and just different programs to kind of prevent other guys from going down that road. So they definitely are trying to do their part right now. So.
I got a text from Andre Reed today, and it was a beautiful day, and he said, it's a beautiful day. That's Junior Seau saying, I'm in a better place and it's okay. And it was a really nice thing to say. I thought.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Darren, do you have any symptoms of CTE?
I don't know.
You don't have to be the lawyer anymore.
I mean, it's one of those things where I just kind of took an assessment, and some of the things, you ask, okay, is that just age? Is that, is that from CTE? And some of the things, you look at it and you say, man, that may be something that I need to just be mindful of, or to be aware of. So I'm very mindful of the situation. I trying to get my wife more mindful. Like, if I start acting weird, like, please let me know, or make sure
get
I go
on top of the situation.
Make sure I go to the doctor. So I don't know if there's a whole lot, but again, it's still one of those things of, well, I'm not just going to say it because I'm a man, I'm strong. I'm not going to tell anybody my weaknesses.
No. Well, how long did you play in the NFL?
8 years.
And the teams you played for, Chargers was just one of them.
Chargers for 4 years, and I played with the Broncos, the Lions, and the Jaguars, and San Diego's favorite team, the Raiders.
All right, we're going to show a picture of a healthy brain and a brain with CTE, and the comparison is quite shocking. Look at this. I mean, hello.
Wow.
No wonder you start short-circuiting. Very sad.
Yep.
Well, hopefully they can find a cure too. And again, I'm so glad that you're on top of this. Are you a part of that class action suit at all?
I am not part of the class action suit, but I'm very plugged into what's going on.
Well, and I love that you're even here talking about Junior, remembering him, but also bringing awareness to the situation. And you have kids. Do they play sports? They
do play sports. My son actually is going to college on a football scholarship.
Are you worried about this? Because I have all girls, so
so you don't have to worry about it.
But I was thinking, if I had a son, I might freak out.
Yeah. I mean, it's because they're doing a lot more, and the equipment is getting better. You have a little more comfort in that, but you do worry a little bit because it's like, man, I wish he would have played golf, but he didn't play golf, so now he's playing football.
And he loves it.
He loves it. He loves it, and it's one of those things that just to be mindful and just to really teach him and tell him, hey, man, you got to make sure you take care of your body. Take care of your body first. So it is a little concern, but he'll be prepared.
But he's got a good dad to coach him. Well, thank you so much for coming on Primetime.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Hopefully you'll come back. Yep.